It is NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. From Quicken Loans Arena, tonight the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Houston Rockets. The opening tip is won by the Rockets. Nothing going here on that drive. Paul to Harden. Here comes the screen. Shot clock to 4 for Houston. To P.J. Tucker. Harden. Add 2 points to the board.
That was a tough shot. The guy was in your pocket. He even contested the shot. Everything was going according to plan until then.
Cleveland has the basketball. Sexton. From the painted area, won't go down. Clint Capella with a piece.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Over to the right side. Screen coming. To Harden. Going to launch beyond the arc. His first effort off the mark.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Here comes the screen. Brandon Knight against Harden. Beyond the arc for 3. Rebounded by Capella. Paul across the timeline. 2-point advantage. To Harden. Chance for Paul. And he drains it. There's a sixth sense there that you just can't teach.
If you're a player on the same team with CP3, you should be taking that point guard out to dinner every single night. There's something to be said about a guard that makes the game way easier for you to be even more of an efficient offensive player.
To Colin Sexton. Deep 2 there, won't go.
And that's how you close out on a shooter with a sense of urgency. The shooter was more worried about his landing space than he was the shot.
Harden. Down low, Capella. Flushes it home. Feed the big fella. Point to the passer.
So good when you get everybody involved, in particular your bigs. You get them going, they'll run the court faster, and guess what? They'll set harder screens because they're actually in the game.
The pass set it all up.
Just remember an old saying here, you're only as good as your last shot, and your last shot went in, so it's time to get going.
Houston with the basketball. To P.J. Tucker. Screen coming. Harden, guarded by Brandon Knight. James Harden, 2 for 3 now here in the first.
The pro game has really come down to PNRs. Let's see how the defense adjusts.
That's out. Last touch by Brandon Knight. Straight on 3. At the buzzer. That misses with a second to go. That ends the first quarter with the Rockets in front. On to the second quarter. Neither team sees control in the first. Some interesting things, though, certainly on display.
Yeah, both teams have came out. They played with great energy, and they've also done an excellent job of establishing their own tempo. They have to make sure they have to push through that and do more of that in the second quarter.
Gordon with it. 8-2, our school flushes down the slam. Jay, they make it look so easy.
Yeah, but it's really not that easy. And as a passer, if your pass is just a fraction too early or a fraction too late, that throws the whole play off. The timing of this has to be impeccable.
Here comes the screen. Around the perimeter. Works it up top. Sexton. Trying to cash in. Knocks it down. Off the step back.
I don't know what halftime evaluation will be worse, the ankles or the bruised ego.
And now Houston has the basketball to Capella. Paul. That pass stolen by the Cavs. Nothing going here on that drive. Here comes the screen. Sexton. A bad pass as the Rockets come away with it.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
And he's fouled. Nice move that time, and he's going to the line for two.
There's a very fine line between maximum effort and carelessness. I'm willing to live with a few mistakes and maximum effort than having to constantly remind my players to close out.
Knocks down the first.
Good shot.
Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Ball in possession of Cleveland. Sexton. Probing the defense. Sexton. Gordon with it. His team on top by 8. And he finishes at the rim.
You used to hear all these coaches talk about, we need players to run the floor. No, I don't need you to run the floor. I need you to run the floor with purpose. Those are two different things. When you run the floor in attack mode, that's when plays like this occur.
Thompson to Colin Sexton. And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
Okay, hacking does still exist. Might be setting the tone for the second half here.
And hits the first free throw. Two for 2 on that trip. Cavaliers with the basketball. Sexton knocked loose. Rockets have the steal. Ooh, Chris Paul. He's 2 for 2 now.
And if you're on defense on that last possession, no need to look over to the coach's bench, hold up your arms, wonder what did you do. Everybody got back, everybody communicated, everybody pointed. It was just better offense than there was defense.
Oh, great pass, setting up the basket.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
Harden in possession. Lead is 12. Chance for Chris Paul. He's looking for that touch.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Now a steal as the Rockets have it. Ooh, Chris Paul. That's 3 now on 4 shots. That's it for the first half. It's been all Rockets.
Thanks, fellas. Jalen here with your halftime report. The Rockets have built a comfortable lead, and these guys have every reason to feel good about how they scored effectively in that opening half. Great offensive display. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Houston Rockets. The Cavaliers did a lot of things wrong in that opening half. The way they struggle doesn't bode well for them at all. But if they've got some fight in them, we'll know right away in the third quarter. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game track. Steals.
What you see on the screen is how this team put itself at a disadvantage. They definitely have some adjustments to make for the second half.
Player of the half. Who was cold?
Brandon Knight did everything but score points in the first half. You have to imagine his shots will start to fall, but this game has been pretty rough on him to this point. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Cavs at the controls. Sexton. Sizing up the defense. The jumper's off the mark. Harden into the front court. His guys lead here early stages, third quarter. James Harden. He's 3 of 5, 60% shooting from the field. The challenge defending a guy who can be a 1 or a 2.
We're not old men talking about this game. We don't define players by positions anymore. Is he a 1 or is he a 2? No, he's James Harden. He is a scorer and an elite passer.
And he converts on the free throw. To Colin Sexton. Step back jumper.
Might have had an extra dribble or 2 there, but he got the shot he wanted.
It's James Harden once again to Paul. Fires the 3. And Chris Paul, quick catch and shoot there for 3. He has that sixth sense that you just can't teach.
He's like a traffic cop, and he's navigating a myriad of bodies coming his way. And there's a smaller innuendo of the game that nobody talks about. When he makes a great pass, he'll tell the offensive player, shoot it, go up, dunk it. He will direct you and lead you to success.
Sexton, a pass taken away by the Rockets. Harden here against Knight.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort, it's off the charts.
James Harden at the line for 2 shots. A career 85% free throw shooter. First free throw is good. Able to convert on both free throws.
got him. I got ball. I got ball.
Sexton. And the rebound comes down to the Rockets. Paul with it up top. His guys hold a commanding lead. To Harden. Fires the three. Textbook defense.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
He'll go to the foul line to shoot.
Sometimes when you get up big, you get a little careless. But attention to detail through the end, that's how you avoid unnecessary fouls.
Brandon Knight, couple of free throws on the way. Hasn't missed yet. First try at the line, no good.
One time. Here we go.
And he's able to hit the second after missing that first one. It's Rockets ball. Paul to Harden. Nothing going here on that drive. To Paul. James Harden, 4 out of 7.
There's no stopping that. You either got to double or deny him the ball from the jump.
Sexton. Nothing going here on that drive. P.J. Tucker able to recover with the block.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Like the toughness, but Colin Sexton off the mark. Count the bucket for 2.
Way to find it, baby.
Third quarter comes to an end. The fourth quarter on the way. The Rockets way out in front. It's the Rockets in control of the basketball as we start the fourth quarter. You figured they certainly had the advantage coming into this one. Jay, that's how it's played out.
On paper, this wasn't set up to be much of a contest. If the crowd could have gotten into it early, maybe. But sometimes a team is so good that you never had a chance to even start.
Tucker to Harden. For 3. Always has a chance for Tucker, but not that time. Sexton. Rockets come up with it.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
Harden here against Knight. To P.J. Tucker. To Harden. 5 seconds to shoot. Harden. James Harden. With that shot, he's 5 for 8.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Sexton. Defense making the ball handler work. And the Rockets have the rebound. Here's Paul controlling the offense to Harden. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Now that's a contest.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball, let him prove that it wasn't the D, it was more in his own head.
Harden with the basketball. His guys holding the big lead. To Paul. Nothing going here on that drive. James Harden, not that time.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning an ankle on that landing.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Paul into the front court. Looking to make something happen. To Harden. Here comes the screen. Harden. And he stays cold from deep as he misses another one. It's no good. Cleveland has the basketball. To Colin Sexton. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Here comes the screen. It's the Rockets who are victorious as they win this one handily. That does it. For my partner Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. As we say, so long, everyone.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Rockets could not have been more dominant in this game. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they scored their points. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Houston Rockets. The Cavaliers did not look good in this one, and neither did the score. And it's games like this where veteran players can be so important. They've been through these types of blowouts, and they know what it takes to keep a locker room united. Check out the leading scores for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game track. Field goals.
These guys walked in with the game plan, and they walked out with the win. And these highlights, they tell even more of the story.
Player of the game.
James Harden could not have been more impressive in this game. The way he scored the basketball looked like he was playing with kids in high school.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
See y'all next time. Jalen Rose signing out.